Hello everyone and welcome on in. Today I've got an interesting video for you guys. There is a lot of kind of hidden mechanics in this game, and if you haven't played it for a very long time, chances are you haven't heard of a few of these. Today I'm going to be showing you guys one of ESO's most hidden game mechanics, and that is the quick hop. It's something that you might have seen people do, you might have even done yourself and not known how you did it. So I'm here to show you guys not only how to do this hop, but how to replicate it successfully and in the course of a fight to give yourself an advantage. So I'm going to start by explaining what a quick hop is. A quick hop, in short, is basically a way for your character to jump through the air while retaining the movement speed that they had before they left the ground. Normally in ESO, if you have a lot of movement speed on your character and you jump in the air, you lose your movement speed as you jump into the air, and you're set to just a slower jump speed, and everybody shares that kind of jump speed. So the quick hop, in short, is just allowing us to jump faster through the air. That's pretty much the only function that it serves. Moving through the air quickly may not seem like a big deal at first glance, but in a PvP scenario where movement and positioning is incredibly important, the ability to travel quickly through the air, especially while doing something like holding block, is an advantage for sure. And its functions aren't just limited to defensive gameplay. You can always do a quick hop into a heavy attack as well. A little bit better if you use something like a bow. So we're going to break down how you actually do a quick hop. It's very simple to do. A quick hop is basically just a block cancel on your jump. So very straightforward. All you got to do is put a speed buff on, sprint forward in one direction, and then block cancel your jump by hitting block as you jump into the air. And that will allow you to retain your movement speed, i.e. complete your quick hop. This technique can be more difficult to perform as your terrain becomes less even, and that's simply because the more uneven your terrain is, the more your character will bump into things, and it will have a tough time actually retaining your movement speed as you're walking on the ground. So the flatter your terrain is, the more successfully and often you can get the quick hops off. Now the quick hop doesn't just stop there. You can actually chain quick hops together. So the basis of doing this is very simple. Again, you're just going to put your speed buff on and you're going to sprint forward and jump in the air. As your character's feet hit the ground, you're just going to flick the jump button. And if you time it correctly, you will retain your movement speed and kind of continue to bunny hop and chain more quick hops as you jump along. The big advantage of this, of course, is that we can move all this distance while holding block. Now you don't necessarily have to do this only downhill. You can quick hop and chain hops uphill as well. It's just a little faster and trickier to time. All right, so now let's get to the most advanced technique of the different hops that you can do. And this is one I like to call the spot hop. It's very similar to the quick hop in execution, but the big advantage of the spot hop is that you can use it while holding perfectly still, and you can do it from actually just standing in block. All right, so to do the spot hop, you're going to start by holding block, and you're also going to press down and hold your sprint key. Now, when you're in this state, you can actually move your character around, and you'll notice that your character drops their block as you move. This is good, and this is a reason why the spot hop works. The spot hop is essentially the same thing as a quick hop, except before we leave the ground, we're going to rapidly change directions in order to get our character moving quickly. So as you have your block and your sprint held, what you're going to do is press to your left, and then you're going to press your right key and your jump key at the same time. This is going to allow you to get that direction change, which gives you the movement speed bonus to actually propel your character with the hop. If you do this very quickly in spot, what this allows you to do is hop from a seemingly standing position. So we're going to go over the spot hop one more time and just break it down slowly again for you guys, because this one is a little trickier to do. You stand there, hold your block, and hold your sprint key. You're going to press to the left, and then you're going to press to the right and your jump key at the same time. During this technique, you actually never let go of your block key. Now, it's not that you need to keep the block held down, but the technique is a little bit easier to execute if you're not worried about flicking your block on and off. So in general, while practicing, just hold your block key and practice sprint to the left and then jump to the right. Now, once you spend a little bit more time properly mastering and practicing this technique, you begin to really see how good these hops can be in PvP. The spot hop is pretty interesting because it allows you to rapidly change directions while blocking, and this is something that most players will never, ever do in PvP. So you can catch people off guard with a defense like this while also making yourself a very hard target to hit. And chaining these different kinds of maneuvers with the rest of your abilities is a huge part of playing successful PvP. One of the more common times you see people use the quick hop would be after a roll dodge, and then they jump off of something like that. It's really good to get the quick hop when you're doing something like this, especially a downhill, because it will greatly increase the amount of distance your character travels, and you can actively hold block and defend yourself while you're doing it. So there you go. Those are all the different quick hops that I personally know how to do, or the different techniques that I know. So we're going to take a look at some gameplay as well, and I'm going to show you guys in the gameplay the different quick hops that we use, and we're going to talk about why they're so important to learn, especially for something like PvP. So let's take a look at an example of using the quick hop in a fight situation. Here you can see I'm taking a lot of pressure, and we want to close that distance to the rocks here. I go for the quick hop, and I actually pop into my mist form here, which is kind of the same as holding block, mostly just to mitigate that damage. So let's slow it down. We start off by getting chased by these guys. I go for the roll dodge. That's going to give us our speed bonus that we need. I go for the purge so that we're not slowed down by a snare, and then I follow it right away with a jump into the block, canceling for the quick hop. And I like this particular shot right here because it is very important that we make that quick hop. If we hadn't covered that distance, we definitely would have been killed by those players because we wouldn't have made the line of sight in time. Now, I want to show you guys another very specific example of where the quick hop is an important move to be able to use. I think these specific examples should also highlight how quick hop is not something that you should just use all the time. It's situational, and there are certain times when using it will provide you no benefit at all, and other times where it becomes incredibly important. And those times usually end up being in a defensive gameplay when you have a lot of opponents attacking you and you're trying to get away with them while simultaneously defending yourself. Here you can see a lot of pressure coming in, and down comes the meteor. We go for the quick hop into holding block in order to absorb the damage from that meteor whilst remaining mobile. Normally we'd have to stand there and hold block, which would be a terrible idea with so many players on top of us, or we just eat the meteor while we try to run away. This way we can have the best of both worlds. I will let you guys enjoy the rest of the fights as we say our goodbyes. The quick hop is definitely a situational mechanic though. It's not something you're going to be spamming a lot in a fight, but something that you use at the right moment to give yourself that little bit of an advantage. I would love to hear what you guys thought about this video, and if you enjoyed this kind of guide content, let me know down in the comments section below. We do the top 5 battles, so if you guys want to send in clips to be featured in the top 5, or if you want to send in a build to be featured on the channel, you can send that to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. Check out my website, KristoferESO.com, for written guides to my builds, a hub for all of my ESO content. And of course, you can find me on Twitch for that live gameplay, and give me a follow on Twitter to keep up to date with what's going on with me. We're sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They can give you better ping to your favorite games, and they're free to try for the first month. Link down below in the description for you guys. And then last but certainly not least, a huge thank you and a massive shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. Without you guys, I couldn't do this job, so thank you so much for supporting. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching today. As always, I hope you all enjoyed, and have a great night, everyone.